I want you to listen to me very closely. Every single thing you want in your life is on the other side of believing in yourself. You will never, ever, and you can quote me on this, you will never, ever convince someone or something to see your worth if you don't already see it. Get in, girl, and let's talk about it.
Okay, welcome. Oh my God, y'all. Welcome to Get In, Girl.
There is a reason I base my entire channel around encouragement and execution. I know that I talk a lot about, like, let's figure out a plan for this, like, let's figure out a plan for that. But I really feel like it's time to get back to the basics. I recently joined this women's entrepreneur incubator group for the business that I'm building, Kaleni. And there was a woman in the group, like, we're kind of just talking about, like, kind of sharing what everybody was working on, what was kind of holding us back. And there were so many people that spoke up and they were talking about how, oh, I really want to do this, then I really want to pursue this business. I really want to, move to a different career field. But I just don't really know if it's going to work. Like, I don't really know if I'm going to do it. Like, I just don't know how this is going to happen. I don't actually, like, there was just a lot of unbelief. I don't know if that's the right word. Is that the right word? There was just a lot of unbelief. I'm going to say unbelief. There was a lot of unbelief in the conversations. And I really just felt like I needed to make a video about this because low self-belief or low self-esteem shows up in every area of your life. I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, well, it's your fault. Like, you got to do this, you got to do this. I know and I acknowledge that we've all been through a lot of different trauma, right? Like, there's trauma from your childhood. There's trauma from when you were in school. There's trauma from when you were growing up. I get that. I hear that. But as an adult, you also kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, it doesn't matter what happened to you in your childhood. You are now responsible for what happens to you for the rest of your life. Like, trauma is not a competition, but I understand trauma. Like, let me just say that and leave it there. I understand trauma for sure. So I'm not trying to dismiss what happened to people to kind of give them that low self-esteem. I'm not trying to dismiss how people were brought up to make them not be confident in themselves. That is a very valid point. But what I'm trying to tell to you today, or what I'm trying to talk to you today about, is the fact that low self-belief shows up in every single thing. If you do not believe in yourself, if you do not feel like you're worthy of anything good, it will show up in the men that you date. It will show up in the people that you date. It will show up in the jobs that you have. It will show up on the things that you tolerate. It will show up in the way people talk to you. It will show up in the way that things work out for you. It will show up in the opportunities that you go for. It will literally terrorize your life, bro. Like, a lot of people are like, oh my God, nothing ever works out for me. Nothing ever works out for me. But bro, you don't even believe in yourself. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, how are you going to convince somebody else to believe in you? Like, make it make sense. Like, explain to me this like I'm 5. If you don't believe that, okay, you know what, I'm a person of value and I'm a person of worth and I deserve good things, then why are you going out there looking for, okay, you know what, I'm looking for a partner, like I'm looking for a job and I want the top person to choose me? Have you chosen yourself? Maybe you need to sit down. Maybe you need to grab a journal. Maybe you need to do a little bit of a reflection. But have you chosen yourself? No one is going to choose you until you choose yourself. Nobody's going to value you if you do not value yourself. And I get it. Again, I said, I get it. Trauma, childhood, upbringing, parents. We could talk about that for generations to come. You need to leave all that in the past because it's not going to help you. It's not going to determine your future. Like, it's great to know this is what happened to me that makes me this kind of way. Like, I was shunned a lot. Like, this happened to me a lot. Like, I'm very shy. I'm very this. Look, a lot of people don't believe me. I've said it before on this channel. I've said it before on this podcast. A lot of people don't believe me, but I'm actually an introvert. I'm actually an introvert. I was just talking to someone a few days ago where they're like, oh, like, you're always so quiet. Like, you never talk. So trust me, I'm a shy girl too. I am a shy girl. I get it. But at some point, you have to stop holding on to the reason that things are not going well. You gotta stop holding on to the reason that this is why I'm this way. Like, oh, this is why I'm this way. Like, oh, nothing ever works out for me. Like, that's why I don't go for opportunities. Like, that's why I don't. At some point, girl, you have to let it go. I'm not saying let it go as in dismiss it never happened. I'm not even saying all that. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. If you need to journal it out, meditate, reflect, whatever you need to do is still a part of your life. Acknowledge it. But the problem starts when you are letting that determine your future. Because everybody's like, oh yeah, my childhood, like trauma, and this happened to me. At what point are you going to reclaim your life? At what point are you going to stop letting this thing have control of you and actually start learning to believe in yourself? And it's not easy. Like, nobody's going to sit here and tell you that it's easy. Like, it's not easy to kind of dig yourself up out of a hole that you were not even put into by your own accord. That's not easy at all. But then the more often that you do it, every single time that you start to believe in yourself, slowly but surely, you're digging yourself out of that hole. And eventually you're going to get to a point where you don't even recognize your own self. And that's what we are kind of wanting to do. Like, that is the end goal for us. The end goal isn't just to be like, okay, let's talk about whatever happened. The end goal is to be like, how can we move forward? How can we then build this self-belief in ourselves? Like, okay, you know what? I hear you. I want to build this self-belief in myself. It's hard. Where do I start from? If you need to talk about it. That's why I started talking about trauma. And I spent such a long time talking about trauma. Because again, I get it. I'm not going to go into all that, but I get it. If you need to, whatever you need to do to deal with that trauma, you should 100% deal with the trauma. Like, sometimes, it's still present, if it's a family thing, like your family always talks to you this way, like this person always does this. But again, like, low self-belief shows up in everything that you do. And the sooner that you start to believe in yourself, the sooner that you can actually put in those boundaries in your life for the people that are causing you not to believe in yourself. Like, it's such a cycle. Everything is such a cycle. Like, it's literally such a cycle. So if you're like, okay, you know what? I've done the work. I feel like I've resolved that trauma part, because I'm not a therapist. I'm not a clinical counselor. I'm none of those things. I'm a girl with trauma, and I'm telling you about my own trauma situation. Not particularly, but if you want to talk about that with someone, you should. If you've passed that, you're like, okay, well, like, how do I then move on from this? Like, I've spoken to someone, like, I've talked about it. Like, how do I go from here? Like, I feel like it's so hard for me to even do anything because I feel like it's not going to work out. Like, I've had this conversation with people where they're like, it's so hard to do anything because I feel like it's not going to work out, because I feel like I've been trying my best in the past and it's never worked out. But I always hear in their conversations or in the words that they say, you can always tell when someone does not believe in themselves. And that's why I started out by saying, like, you will never be able to convince anybody else to believe in you more than you believe in your own self. It also shows up, again, in the kind of opportunities that you're going for. If you see an opportunity, like, oh my God, like, this salary is too big, like, I can't possibly apply, like, I'm probably not qualified. Little by little, like, people don't really recognize all these small things. And look, I'm very guilty of it. So I'm not even going to sit here and tell you, like, oh, I apply for every job that I come across. Very guilty of it. Very guilty of it. But every single time that you do all these, like, small things, like, you're just feeding the voice. Just imagine a little, like, tiny baby worm, and like every single time, like, you're just feeding the voice in your head being like, okay, well, like, it's probably not gonna work out, like, you probably shouldn't do it, like, oh, you probably shouldn't speak up, oh, you probably shouldn't say anything. And that's how it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So if you wanted to come out of this pattern of not believing in yourself, like I always say, the best solution for unbelief is taking action. Action is what fuels belief. Like, a lot of people feel like, okay, you know what? I have to believe in myself first, and then I'm going to start to take the action. But that's actually, like, you're kind of putting the cart in front of the horse, right? Like, you have to start to do all these small things. And then that's when you're like, oh, wow, like, that actually worked out. If you see an opportunity, like, and this is something I'm trying to do this year as well. Like, in my business, I'm like, you know what? This is a year I'm going to reach out to anyone. I'm going to shoot my shot at anything. Yo, there were 2 random things I applied for and they're like, oh yeah, you're accepted. I was like, somebody should have told me this whole time that, all you needed to do was actually just reach out and apply for things. Like, somebody should have told me, and I'd have been doing that this whole time. Just putting yourself out there. Every time that I put myself out there and then it actually goes well, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's like, even, okay, if you have someone in your life that's always talking down on you, they're always talking down on you. So at a point, you gotta be like, you don't gotta be disrespectful. We don't tolerate disrespect. But you gotta be like, I actually don't appreciate being spoken to like that. Like, I don't have to explain myself to you. At the end of the day, I'm a grown adult. I don't appreciate being spoken to in that manner, and put those boundaries in place. And the thing about boundaries is that it's a two-pronged approach, right? Like, you got to put in boundaries, and that's like the first important prong. But girls, guess what? Like, you also have to actually enforce the boundaries. If you're like, okay, like, I don't, like, if you want to have a conversation with me, do not yell. I have a do not yell thing. Like, I don't yell. I have a loud enough voice. There's no reason for anybody to yell ever, except for in an auditorium or at a concert, we're having a good time. But in conversations in everyday life, do not yell at me. If someone is talking to you and they're talking down on you and they're like raising their voice, they're yelling at you, that's my boundary. I'm like, okay, well, you're clearly not ready to talk to me. You can't possibly be talking to me. You're not ready to talk to me because you don't yell at me. You do not yell at me. What am I going to do? I'm going to say, well, it was nice talking to you. I see that you're a little, riled up. When you are ready to have a conversation, I would be willing to have this conversation with you, but you're not going to yell at me. You might be thinking about, and you're like, is she crazy? Like, you're telling me to do what? I get it. It sounds scary. It sounds hard. It sounds difficult. But the first time that you do it, you're going to get such a rush of like, whoa, I did not even know that was an option. And then you're going to do it again. And then you're going to do it again. And you're going to get a little more backbone. You're going to get a little more goomspa. You're going to start going for things. You're going to start putting yourself out there. You're going to start not tolerating stuff that you should not be tolerating. A lot of self-belief is just telling yourself on the inside that you're worthy of so much. And then when someone tries to give you something less than what you know that you deserve, you're like, not over here. Not over here. That's literally what everything is in your relationship, in at work, in your friendships, in your like whatever. You're like, I know what I'm worth. I know the value that I bring to the table, so I will not be tolerating you trying to give me something less than what I deserve. And again, how are you gonna put that boundary if you don't know what you're worth? And that's where, even though you don't like to hear it, a lot of people are like, oh, this is like woo-woo manifestation, bull. People keep talking about manifestation and visualizations because it works. Affirmations work. You need to look yourself in the mirror every day and be like, I'm that girl. I am that girl. I stand up for myself. I seek out opportunities. I am not afraid. Say those things to yourself every single day. Whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it, that's not what we're talking about. Like, say it to yourself. Bro, all the music I listen to, I feel like I've said this before in this channel. All the music I listen to is such uplifting music. And that's what I like constantly. That's all I'm listening to. I'm playing it in my head. I'm like, I'm that girl. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. I'm not afraid. I do what I need to do. I'm worthy of success. I say all these things to myself. And I'm like, I know that to the depth of my bones, bro. You cannot convince me otherwise. So now if you're trying to like come talk to me and you're trying to act like I'm going to accept something less, I'm like, do you know where you are? You must not know where you are. You have to have that belief within yourself so strongly. So every time you want to go for something, if you're talking to someone, you're in a relationship, you're talking to a person, you're trying to like get to know someone, and you're trying to give you something that you know is less than what you deserve, you're like, no, I actually don't. Like, that's not, I know myself, and I know you, like, you don't have to say all that to them, but like just being like, I know myself, I know what I deserve, I will not tolerate that. And you have to be very strict about not tolerating it, because we were like, oh yeah, I don't like tolerate it, like I don't like people do this to me, and then they don't enforce their boundaries and they continue to tolerate it. And that also actually like depletes your self-belief, because it's a muscle that you have to consistently work on. So when you do things that affirm your belief in yourself, you're building the muscle, you're working on the muscle. When you do things that kind of make you be like, whoa, like maybe I actually don't deserve good things in life. Like maybe, this is my fault. Like this person is treating me badly because of me. This is happening to me because of like whatever thing, like nothing ever works out for me. Like telling yourself those things, like they're making your muscle, your self-belief muscle weaker and weaker and weaker. So you have to be very strict and firm about being like, I don't tolerate that. You can't bring that around me. You cannot bring that around me. Like you just absolutely cannot bring that around me. I will not be tolerating that. And just constantly working on that self-belief muscle. The first time you do it is going to be tough. The second time you might still be scared. The third time, but the more that you do it, the more that you do it, the more that you do it, the more that you're actually going to feel more comfortable doing it, and the more that you're actually going to build that muscle. Every single time you want to go for something, every time you're like, okay, I'm going to set this goal, and you're like, oh, I don't know if that goal is too big, like nothing ever really works out for me. Just tell yourself, like, would someone who believed in themselves say this? Would someone who believed in themselves do this? If you're like, okay, well, you've never believed in yourself, so like that question doesn't really work for you. You can ask yourself, would Noma do this? Would Noma say this about herself? Would Noma accept this? Would Noma tolerate this? I can tell you right now, I don't even know what situation it is. I can tell you right now, the answer is no, I will not. I will not be tolerating that. I will not be doing that. I will not be believing that about myself. I will not be talking bad about myself. If there's one person you need that needs to believe in you, if there's one person that needs to think you're the best thing in the world, it's you. So every time you're having a conversation in your mind and you're like, no, I'm not going to go for that, then like, I'm going to set a smaller goal. Like even though I've been trying to lose weight, like I'm probably just going to give up. Like I'll always be this way. Like things are never going to change. You should be like, whoa. Would someone who believed in themselves speak about themselves like this? Would Noma say this about herself? The answer is no. You know that right now. You are capable of so much in this life, and trust and believe that I'm going to make sure that you know that. Tell me in the comments, what is one limiting belief that you want me to address? And if you found this content helpful, do not forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and tell them to get in on this, y'all. You are capable of so much, and I will make certain that you believe it. So get in, girl, and let's go get your dreams. Bye.